Hello, I'm Jim Morningstar, Director of the School of Integrative Psychology and facilitator of the Integrative Life Community Building course. The focus of this second class in our series is reinforcing your internal community. What is your internal community? Physical internal community. The most simple component of physical life is the cell. It's a self-sustaining unit of life. A group of similar cells form tissues, and those tissues comprise organs with distinct functions that support the human organism as a whole. Thus, when a cell joins forces with other cells and forms a community, and members of that community specialize in different functions, the organism created becomes exponentially more intelligent and efficient in life. Organs that work together to carry out cooperative activities classify into organ systems. These systems need to coordinate their functions to maximize their abilities as a whole versus compete with one another for supremacy. Such an imbalance is called illness. The body, according to modern medical science, contains 11 major organized systems: the circulatory, respiratory, skeletal, muscular, digestive, endocrine, nervous, reproductive, and integumentary, which includes the skin, hair, nails, sweat, and oil glands. Now, most Western medicine is based on measurable functions of these systems. It's not until recently that the fascial system, formerly referred to as the white tissue holding the other systems in place, was actually seen as a system in itself that communicates in ways not yet completely understood by conventional science. This communication is more energetic and is believed to hold the pathways called meridians that Eastern science has functionally used for centuries for health and well-being, for example, acupuncture. Some research is showing that without the energetic strength of the fascial system, our bones would crumble under our weight. My fascial system integrity is a focus of my daily work with Tai Chi and is a central component of my well-being practices. Analogously, we're just beginning to tap into the energetic connections that hold us together as a more intelligent and sensitive community than conventional wisdom or fear-based politics has told us we could be. It starts with keeping our individual physical bodies functioning well. We are in charge of the loving intelligence which brings all of our individual cells into a miraculous functioning community called our body. The same loving intelligence is now waking us up to our potential to build much higher functioning communities on the planet, premised on cooperation versus competing with one another for dominance. Let's support one another to take the goals we wrote last class for our physical well-being as an integral step in community building. Emotional internal community. Another system that's just being highlighted in recent science is the limbic system. According to modern science, the limbic system is a group of related structures in the midbrain that help regulate emotion, memory, and certain aspects of movement. One of these structures, the hippocampus, is vital to the storage of recent acquired information, one of the brain's most important functions. The acquiring of emotional intelligence by mammals gave them an evolutionary boost in complexity over reptilian forms of life. The mammalian brain, with its precursors to the human limbic system, allowed them to feel and sense other organisms and their environment around them with much greater nuance. Communities of wolves thus operate on another level than a pack of lizards. Our emotional intelligence is just being acknowledged by modern science, not just for its evolutionary advantage, but also for its contribution to more highly evolved communication and the potential for enjoyment it provides human existence. In the social sciences, family systems theory came to prominence in its effectiveness in helping families overcome dysfunction. This evolved into internal family systems or parts work, which helps us identify the emotional and mental aspects of our psyche that are not in unison and to bring greater harmony amongst them. Getting the parts of our inner selves to dialogue and come to mutual agreement is foundational to working with outer communities like our families or businesses. I like to say we all bring to work our little wagon filled with the emotional patterns from our outer and inner families and use these patterns unconsciously to try to create working relationships. Often a daunting task because we are projecting the parts of us which we are not in harmony onto others, and then trying to get them to conform to our dominant internal forces when we have not come to peace internally first. Ironically, they're doing the same dance with us. Hopefully, the whole process leads to us becoming more self-aware. When this happens for all parties, the community takes a tremendous leap in consciousness, creative play, and success. This is precisely the task before us. So when I get, quotes, plugged in or emotionally triggered by another member of the group, I can avoid them and silently judge them, or try to change them or set them straight, or see them as partners who are giving me the gift of self-reflection and hopefully more self-acceptance and integration. Now, this may happen without the other person knowing intellectually, but they will get it energetically. Or it may happen by your open-hearted and open-minded interaction with them. These are the wonders that lie before us in community building. Mental internal community. Perhaps the most striking dynamics on our internal playground come with our divergent belief systems. We have been collecting memories throughout life. These memories get strung together in patterns or stories that help make sense of our life. It is said that individuals that have a coherent autobiographical narrative appear the most well-adjusted in their lives. We are given a continuous stream of information in the modern world about what we should believe and what we should buy, literally and figuratively, in order to be happy. How are our decisions made? And why do we often unduly question ourselves about them? Just as there are endless ads for our attention on the media, so are there a multiplicity of internal bids for our attention based on our divergent internal needs, imagined or real. We'll be playing a game to help us uncover some of the conflicting beliefs that keep us stuck in prominent areas of our life. Suffice it to say now, if we are in a perpetual internal disagreement with ourselves, our chances for successful community building are severely hampered. The challenge is not to construct an ironclad, monolithic belief system which becomes a my way or the highway operating procedure. It's rather to increase our awareness about the factors in our lives that have built our minds and how to be more in charge of directing our minds. Now, this leads us right into the quest for knowing who we essentially are. Essence is a spiritual factor, not a physical, emotional, or a mental phenomenon. But before we look at our internal spiritual community, let's first do a brief inventory on our internal physical, emotional, and mental communities. On Handout 1, Internal Communities Inventory, you will complete Section 1, a harmony I'm willing to bring to my internal physical community is, and then how I will address this before next class is. Section 2, a harmony I'm willing to bring into my internal emotional community is, and how I will address this before next class is. And Section 3, a harmony I'm willing to bring into my internal mental community is, and how I'll address this before next class is. Complete Handout 1, Sections 1, 2, and 3 now, and come back to the video. I believe that the more of us support each other in this advanced work, the more astounding will be our individual, and community growth. Holding you in my heart as fellow travelers on the road home, I send and receive blessings for our circle and for all sentient beings till next class. Blessings in light and love.